Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 88 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and we've got a great show today. We've got two houses in East Dallas, and in the second half of the show, we're going to talk about ways you can beat the heat when it comes to energy and tips and tricks.
Save some money.
Save some money. It's always a good thing. So, interesting weekend. It was busy. I actually was with clients and showed over 15 condos and actually have found and made an offer on a really great unit that we saw over at Windermere. It was really nice.
Yeah, that's a great unit, great community.
Yep, we were able to find this one. Don't want to give too much away because I don't want anybody else to come out there and get it. But it came back on the market. Actually, the original buyer was fell out because of COVID, was furloughed, and so they couldn't actually finish the third-party financing addendum and opted out during that timetable. So it made it great for our client. 15 later, we were able to isolate that this was the one, but we really looked at almost everything in Oaklawn and in Uptown. So it was a really interesting time.
Yeah, the inventory is still kind of restricted out there right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people haven't brought their homes back on yet. We didn't see that big surge of property quite yet, but I feel it bubbling. I feel it kind of happening. So.
There's a couple of people that have been talking about that the spring market didn't disappear. It's just been pushed back to May, which is really interesting. So we'll keep you updated on that. We also just got back from, what was the name of that subdivision that we just got back from?
Newman
Village.
Newman Village.
Newman Village. We just showed the Newman Village, and that was a really
This
interesting
morning.
house.
Yeah, at 10 o'clock this morning. And that was another deal where the contract had fallen out because the previous buyer didn't qualify, and our buyer wanted to get into that house it was a fresh on the market listing Mother's Day, and we were that Mother's Day weekend, and we tried really hard to get them in that weekend, and it just couldn't happen. And so,
and the other thing too about that one is that one came back on the market at a higher price than when it was on for Mother's Day. So people are trying to take advantage of a low inventory time. So it's pretty interesting. Interest rate's still great. I just closed and it was 3.125. Can't complain about that. So we'll see if what happens in the next 6 months, see what happens with that as well.
Yeah, and we'll be announcing the date for the open house party next week on the show.
Will we?
Is that not?
I don't know about that now. let's okay. So moving right along. The other thing too is that we've got a really great mid-century modern MCM that we're going to be bringing on shortly. Really excited about that one. We were hoping that we would be able to bring it on the show next week, but I think that it's just going to be too tight with the photography that we're going to do on
Yeah, we're shooting photography on a Tuesday
night.
Trying to have it bring it live by the weekend, so it might be the week after that before we get to talk about that one.
Yeah, that'll be. We should be able to talk about the open house that we'll have that weekend, which will be really cool. So don't want to miss that. It'll be a really nice house.
Yeah.
So what did we pick this week, Jeff?
We have two really cool homes in East Dallas, and they're both in the 475 to 550-ish price point, and we wanted to show you kind of two differences. One of them is really in Lakewood, and then the other one is really Lake Highlands Estates, which is a really great neighborhood that's kind of on the north end of the lake. It is a lot of this style of home that have gone through renovation, where owners have really put a lot of heart and soul. This one's a great example of how people really put a lot of heart and soul into a renovation.
And so this is going to be 320 Easton Road. And this is, I love this area. I actually lived in this area for I think 2 years. I had a tiny little rental over there before I bought the place that burned down. Awesome. And this is just that Flagpole Hill, we actually did video over there and started an entire sequence for Merriman Park.
Yeah.
So it's a great area, commutes really quickly to 635, as you can see in the upper right-hand corner. But getting on the toll or Northwest Highway 12 right there is so easy. And then Buckner takes you all the way down to, if you want to be the Arboretum, or to 30. Great access.
Yeah, very good access. The proximity to all of the outdoor activities that you have in this neighborhood, to me, are one of the biggest selling features of the neighborhood. The houses are really great themselves, but just being able to get out, get to a trail right away, get over to the dog park is such a fantastic opportunity to have living there.
And it's funny because I think last week we talked about you were doing a ride on the trail up north, but you saw that it'll connect all the way down there, so that you could actually ride from the trail far north on Walnut, and then come all the way down. So there is a lot more that you could do in this area if it's not just White Rock Lake, but you can get around in this place. It's really great.
Yeah, and there's a lot more of that trail that goes farther north up there, even up into the, like north of LBJ along Hillcrest, and I mean I've really enjoyed riding. I've kind of stopped riding for several years, but I've really enjoyed getting back into it.
It's a great little spot. Well, back to the house. It is a 4-bedroom, 2 full bath, 1 half bath, 2-car garage. Comes in at 2,097 square feet, priced at $475. And this house has been really well done. And I want to point out, as you're looking at these pictures, one of the things that I thought was really interesting about this house is that it is a double master. And we don't often see houses that have been reconfigured that would allow this. And this is one of those homes that we felt really grateful that we were able to highlight.
Yeah, the hardwood floors are in immaculate shape in this. They've got a little bit of a light hand scrape to them, but they are done spectacularly. This is the room that you walk into when you walk through the front door, and then that kind of guides you into the rest of the house. This is the second living area that is more on the rear of the home, so you've got great access to the side yard there, which is another great feature of this house. You've got a big side yard, big backyard, and then you've got the big plate glass window that looks out over the patio.
And the great thing, too, is in a home like this, having multiple seating areas is so critical. And then the way that they position the kitchen, it's really the heart of the home in this one. So it really is what everyone's going to come to, pass through, whether you're going from one living space to the other. Here you can see they've done a really great job of renovating it in the way that buyers want to see the homes done today. And that window right there looks over the deck and the backyard. So it really is a symmetrical and easy flow kitchen with just enough cabinets and just enough counter space.
Yep, solid surface countertops, undermount sink, stainless steel appliances, 5-burner range. It's got everything you need.
And this is the first of 2 masters that we have. And again, we're looking at a very symmetrical room. We've continued with the hardwood floors in here as well. And then you can see that there are 2 closets, the door on the right and the door on the left. Half bath here off of the master, but there is a full bath just on the inside. This is the renovated, and as you can see, they've taken some really interesting architectural design elements and made a one-of-a-kind bathroom here.
Yeah, this is one of the 2, I'm going to say ancillary bedrooms on it. Both are really great size. They've got great closet space. You can see here, it's got big bunk bed, or not quite a bunk bed, but the elevated bed. And then this is the hall bath that the 2 of them share, with the real pretty marble on the tile on the back wall. It also continues on the flooring there. They've got that same marble. Am I calling it the right word?
Yep,
okay, marble with the mixed tile that's similar into the kitchen. And then this is the second master bedroom, and still a really good sized bedroom. This also has a bath attached to it, and the house doesn't really want for anything else.
It's great that it's all separated. And here we can see that you're looking in the different windows. There's a master, there's the second living room right there, but this is a really good terraced outdoor deck area, a little bit of lighting. And you can see that just off to the right-hand side, there is the playground that's set up, nice lawn. It is a manageable size yard. I think that many people think that they want enormous yards. This is just the right size. Dog run could be on the other side where the grill is, or you can bring it back over here. All of it just works out very, very effortlessly.
Yes, so this is 320 Easton Road, 4 bedrooms, 2 full baths, 1 half bath, 2-car garage built in 1953, a little over 2,000 square feet, priced at $475,000, which brings it in at $226 a square foot. Really great dollar per square foot for that neighborhood compared to everything else that's sold over there.
Yep. So what we're going to do is we want to thank Tamara Torres for allowing us to highlight the home. Beautiful home. If you have more information about this home or would like to see it, please let us know, and we will make that happen.
Absolutely.
Now what we're going to do now is we're going to take and head just a little, if you were to get on the map and run across on Northwest Highway and head over to Abrams or Skillman and then head south, and then what you would do is then head west on Belmont, and that's where we're headed. And this is so funny because the closer we got to this, I realized how close this was to the house I lived on Manette. I was like, oh my gosh, this is around the corner. I lived
It's right at Greenville and Belmont.
So I've lived in both of these areas, have and did. So it's a great little spot. This is Vickery Place, and Vickery Place sits right in the heart of whether it's, you can see Swiss Avenue and Genius Heights are down there, Lakewood a little bit farther to the east, and then Knox Henderson. So I've used this term a lot of times. I call it epicenter adjacent, and this is one of those. Whether you're getting on 75, Mockingbird heading north, east and west, this has really great entry and exit points.
It really does, and the restaurants in this area are fantastic. There's a G Supply Company right there. The Libertine is right there.
Hungry Belly is around the corner.
Yeah, it is. There, and that's all within walking distance because it's all only about 2.5 blocks off Greenville Avenue.
Yeah, and so this house is really interesting because I know that we have the last one was multi-generational and we think that's really important, but this one was one of the ones that. So we don't typically see 2-bedroom, 1 full, 1 half, and then at 1,570 square feet. And we were really curious about the logistics of this house. It looks great in the photographs, and so we really wanted to go explore it. And this house did not disappoint.
It did not. And the 1,570 square feet, it feels so much bigger than that because of the way that these owners have used it. It's got really great front porch. And at some point, some owners built that out over that and done such a great job creating that really cool entry point. You still have what probably used to be the old front porch off to the left of that picture. And then when you walk in, you got this really great sized living room, fireplace, perfect place for the TV. The windows are all just super light and bright. Very typical of the age. They've really tried to keep the feel with the way that it's been decorated or been, I guess, styled in the house. They also used a little bit more modern furniture in it, which I think brought this really great element to just how the house feels.
And the way that it opens up as we're going to pass into the dining room. The dining room is more of a pass-through. And this is really great because, again, it's an interpretation of the open living concept that's so popular with today's buyers. As you can see here, it goes back and forth, great light. And they've done some really interesting wood application to the wall and also to the shelving there. And then this is going to go a little bit further back and go right into a really great open kitchen.
And this kitchen's, it's really unique because the island is built in there. And while you've still got the dining room table right there, they still took advantage of the fact that you wanted to have an eat-in kitchen, but not really take up any more space. Really bright open windows. You can see the big double farm sink, and the lighting that they've chosen just complements the space really well.
Yep, and love it or hate it, Chip and Joanne have a little bit of influence, as you can see right there with the shiplap.
Yep.
Good colors, well done. Love that the kitchen has large drawers. This is a entertaining house from the front door to the back door. And then we're going to go into the first of 2 bedrooms. And this is a really good use of space. When you need more closet space, but you don't know what to do, built-ins.
Yes. And those are not expensive. They're from, I think those are from IKEA. I know one of our clients that did that one time, but it really solves a lot of the challenges that some of these older homes have. This is the master bedroom that is absolutely spectacular.
Right.
Look at how many windows surround that room, and it all looks out onto really, really cool space.
The funniest thing is that it has so much natural light. When we were there, I was like, this is just a happy bedroom. There is just so much light. Here's the other bathroom in the place. What we really were excited about is what's about to come up. This is outdoor space galore.
Yes, there are more living spaces outside than there are inside.
You can sit here, watch TV, swim in the pool, work in your shed,
a drink
entertain
at
on
the
your
bar.
deck. They have gardening, raised flower beds, and they have pit barbecue and a bar.
Yeah, it's and it's so decorated so well. The art they've used, the way that they position their furniture in it, the sails to cover the bar, give a little bit of relief from the sun is just amazing.
It was so well done, so fun. I feel like there have been so many good times had at this backyard. I was like, that is amazing. And I don't think we pointed out, but the front also does have a porch swing.
Yep.
So
And that was 5542 Belmont. That's a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. It's a one car spot, built in 1926, a little over 1,500 square feet, and it's priced at $529, and that brings it in at $336.94 a square foot.
yep, and we want to say thank you so much to Chrissy Hancock for allowing us to feature your home.
Yes.
Great home.
Thank you so much. So if you'd like to see either of these homes, or if there's a home out there that you would like to see, please give us a call, reach out to us. We'd love to help you. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and we will be right back. There are lots of ways to keep up with us. Visit and like our Facebook page to watch us live and get updates about future show topics. Also, visit our Instagram account where you can see the latest homes we have for sale. You can also check out our website at updikepugh.com, where you can create customized searches of active and sold homes that you may find of interest. If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, visit homeprice.fyi and you can get a price instantly. Just enter your address and a couple of other pieces of information, and we will email you a price. If you are on the go and podcasts are better for you, our second segments are available on iTunes and Spotify. Last of all, you can reach out to us by phone or text at 214-377-2223. And welcome back to episode 88, second segment. Today we are going to teach you how to save money.
Beat the heat and save some money. It's always important these days. I think that as we were researching this topic, it was kind of difficult to make it really jazzy, so we're going to do our best. It's really a practical thing, and again, it's just reminding people it's so important in home ownership to do the little things and to do them on a daily routine.
Yeah, these are really kind of they're kind of no frills, no nonsense things to do. But even some of these things, we walk into houses where we've had friends that have bought houses from us 10 years ago, and we walk in and we go, oh, why haven't they done that yet? So
This is true.
And we kind of broke it down into two segments. The first part is going to be the repairs and improvements. It's the things that you might spend a little bit of money doing, but we've tried to be reasonable with our recommendations here. So do you want to start off with the first one?
Let's get after it. So one of the things, that was a Chris Cuomo thing. Let's get after it. I've watched listened too much POTUS. Let's talk about sealing gaps, cracks, leaks. These are big things that actually will prevent the leak and penetration of the air that you don't want or want to keep in. So these are things that add to the overall health of the house, but also really get after that utility bill.
They do, and they they also keep insects out, which Texas is buggy. Texas is really buggy, and so it is definitely a way to help keep all of them out. We have talked many times before about the investment of replacing windows. If you've got windows that are older, single pane windows, the return on investment for those is phenomenal from many aspects. Even if you're wanting to live in the house for another 10 years, the return in energy savings is great. But when you get ready to sell it, the return in doing that for them is also a really good return.
It also is we talk about that it's an immediate impact on your utility bills, but the other thing is when it comes to resale, it's one of those things that people will check and can be a deal breaker, whether someone has to do that or it's already been done for them.
Yep. And one of the other things that we were suggesting is, this is a really good time of year to make sure that the filters and all your air conditioners are clean.
Yep.
If you have, I would imagine you've turned them on by now since we've been up in the 90s. But if they're not running efficiently, go ahead and get somebody out now, because if they're not running efficiently now, it means they're probably not going to be running efficiently, or maybe not even running a month from now. And you don't want to have to be waiting, because now is the time of year when you've got to wait that week or 2 weeks to get an AC company out.
Next thing I do is I would get rid of all of the LED lights. Get rid of those incandescent and put in LED lights. Those can lights, easy switch outs. There's so many different ones. I was pricing them the other day on Build.com versus what they were priced on at Lowe's, and I was really surprised that they were really almost the exact same price. Plus, I could get them that same day from Lowe's. So quick and easy to do. The other thing that you can do now is you can place that order on Lowe's and then walk in and pick it up a couple hours later.
Yeah.
Don't even have to shop.
Yeah. One of the things that I've really done over the last couple of years is I've tried to utilize as much home automation as I can.
Yes, you have.
And I've been sharing kind of my figuring part of that stuff out with friends, and I've got like all of my exterior lights now come on at dusk and they go off. They come on at dusk and they go off at dawn, and it makes my house more secure because I've got all of that light up around it. But I also know that I didn't have to remember to turn all of that off. I've installed Nest thermostats on all of the controls in my AC units, and now those have all been programmed to come on when you need to and stay off. And so utilizing home automation has become so much easier than it was even a year and a half or 2 years ago. It's something everybody needs to look into.
The other thing too that I don't think that many of us think about is that when we're not home, how does home automation play into as a factor? And the shades now that are out there, they can actually hook up to the Wi-Fi, and those shades can be set to actually come down at a certain time and go up at a certain time. So if you have windows that face due west, even though you're not there and you're not uncomfortable, that increase in sun temperature is going to turn your AC on and get that working. So have that set to come down. Very simple, very easy.
One of the other things is in the bathrooms where there are vent fans that go outside, a lot of times people walk away and leave those on. And so, we've been telling people, so there are timer buttons that look just like the everything else. And so, you click it until you want it to run for 10 minutes and then you leave and you know that it's going to go off, because if you have left that running all day, what it's doing is sucking all your air conditioning out.
That's true.
And running it out. So it's very inefficient.
So one of the things, now we can kind of switch gears because those were repairs and improvements, but now we want to talk about like what we do on a day-to-day basis, like our behaviors. What behaviors are in place that we should be changing in order to decrease our outgoing expenses? And some of the things that we looked at that just might have been small were little things like when do you use the bulk of your energy, and when you can move it towards the evenings when it's not as hot, or sometimes in certain areas of the country when you move off certain the volume times, there is a discount in using the electricity at that point.
Yeah, very. And, some of the we have deregulated electricity here in Texas, and some of the companies are incentivizing you, although you might be paying a higher rate with that company during the peak demand periods, they might offer you, free nights and weekends or something like that. And it does cause behavioral change if you kind of focus on saving that money.
Yep. And things that you can do that fit into that would be like simply using your dryer in the evenings. So you're not heating up the house. And again, like Jeff was saying, if we can get it when it's not peak time, might be a change in the price.
Yeah. And the dryer is one of those things that even though you clean that little lint filter out every once in a while, lint does get beyond that.
Yes,
and
it does.
There are lots of YouTube people that will show you how to make the tube from a paper towel roll into an extension for your vacuum cleaner and get down into that. And I've done it before, and it's amazing how much crap you get out of it.
That is absolutely right. And so the other thing too, like keeping the blinds closed when you're not there. Now, of course, this doesn't work when you're actually for sale. We need you to keep the blinds all completely open. But when you're not there, yeah, it is. And we see it all the time. I was showing one of the condos, and I could tell that in one of the bedrooms, it had all plantation shutters. And the only reason it had plantation shutters is that was due west. And I thought, this is so simple and so smart.
The one of the things that I am really guilty of that kept coming up on many of the lists that I was referencing to try to pull this together was don't peek in the oven while you're baking. Number one, if you're when you turn your oven on and you're running your air conditioning, you are causing an automatic reverse effect there. But then a lot of people will, they want to look in the oven, and so many places that reference this said that you could lose up to 25 degrees of your oven just by opening the door and peeking in and closing it, which means it's going to come right back on. So look through the window, people.
and don't ruin your souffle.
Right.
So the other thing too is take off non-essential items, unplug your computer, turn it off. These are just ways that you can really control what is being consumed. Even though it doesn't consume much at the end of the day, these things add up if you think about 365 days.
Saw many sites reference the electricity vampires, and what they were talking about were the charging cords that go into the power supply that may only have an LED on.
Right.
You know, it may only, but it is still going to be drawing power, and you know, not just watching those things can really make a difference.
I actually remember being at a gym one time where they actually turned off every single piece of equipment. Like there was one main thing that it was turned on to, and then they turned it all the way off just because they didn't want like 40 little LED lights running for 9 hours when no one was there.
Interesting.
Yep.
And do you know that there's actually a right direction and a wrong direction to run your ceiling fan for both seasons, for a winter and a summer?
I do, but that doesn't mean that I actually do it.
I don't know either.
Yes, for me, it's Texas. It needs to blow down on me the whole
year.
time.
That's right.
I'll cover up. Yes, you should do that.
Well, so we hope you found some of that useful. I know some of it's very, very basic knowledge, but they're good things to, even for us to remember. You know, just as being homeowners, it's all about saving money.
So one of the things, I'm just going to shift gears, we hope you found that interesting, but one of the things I think that we forgot to mention at the very beginning of the show is that the website, updikepugh.com, you were recently able to actually do some really interesting things that are really important for COVID shoppers right now.
Oh, that's right. One of the things that we have added to our website is we are now able to offer virtual tours on any listing that's in the MLS. Now, keep in mind there are certain segments of the market that we work in where we would not be able to offer this virtual showing to somebody that's in, like, even Fort Worth listing show up on our website. But certainly, if there's any houses in the marketplace that you want to have a little bit more than the pictures of, you want to actually have a virtual showing on, just go to our website, let us know that, and we'll get in touch with you and let you know how we need to do that, whether it's through a Facebook Messenger, we can do it over Apple.
Or Android.
Lost my head there.
You're going
Apple
down that road.
I was going to. We will whatever platform you need to see it on, we can make sure you see it on.
We'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all so much. And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.